Hello, I'm Penelope Mavor, and welcome to Earth Converse podcast, an exploration into our relationship and conversations with the earth, all in the hope of inspiring a deeper connection with ourselves, each other, and the earth that is our home. And for this, our 25th episode, I am going to talk about resetting. It is an invitation to reflect on your reset buttons and how they resource you. I'm not the most technically competent person, and I have this profound respect for the reset button, and I have even more respect for our own internal ones, the ones that we use to soothe ourselves in moments of anxiety, those ones we use to self-regulate under stress, our own life rafts we use to navigate the wild seas of our lives, all those techniques and strategies we have learned, which remind us that we are resourceful and we are resilient. So particularly relevant in our COVID-19 times. And so at this point, I invite you to reflect on your reset buttons. What are the ways you reset and resource yourself? I will mark this reflection point with the forest sound. Our reset buttons are as numerous and unique as we are as individuals. I love having conversations which enable us to share them. You may recall Diana Bakanu in episode 12 basically describing how she led a global wellness strategy for a multinational based literally on people sharing their reset strategies. And I think one of the wonderful things coming out of the COVID-19 crisis is the way in which people have emerged out of their homes virtually to offer their gifts and various ways for us to reset and resource. A fellow consultant, Mike Hurst, took this to another level and created a YouTube channel called For You, bringing in various collaborators, from inspiring stories and business, sport and life in general to exercises we can do in our home, laughing, yoga, meditation, art, music, activities for children. It is an eclectic mix of content to comfort and inspire. And so if you have a suggestion, he'd be more than happy for you to include it. So contact him. I'll put the details in the episode extras. On the channel, I talk about nature and lockdown and ways to deepen your connection with nature. And I wonder, what new ways to reset have you been experimenting with or are experimenting with during this time? It was a meditation teacher who first helped me really consciously think about my reset button. Anybody who has done the S.N.Goekna Vipassana meditation will know what I'm talking about when I say, start again. Start again with a calm and tranquil mind, an alert and attentive mind, a balanced and equanimous mind. Part instruction, part inspiration, the phrase is delivered session after session in his deep resonating voice, slowly, deliberately, powerfully and playfully, designed to help us practice accessing the present. He reminds us that in any moment we can choose to reset. There is always an opportunity to start again. Goenka's instruction draws from the teachings of the Buddha, the concept of beginner's mind, which invites us to start afresh with whatever we face, to approach people and life's events as if for the very first time, without preconceived notions, assumptions and judgments, without stories, where we no longer operate from our automatic ways or react from what we know, but where we lean into the openness and curiosity of the unknown. We deal with what is in front of us, with the reality as it is, as opposed to what has happened or not happened in the past. It is an attitude we can cultivate as a long-term reset button, and the one that is always available to us in any moment, if we are aware and make a conscious choice. And I wonder, what is it for you to turn up with a beginner's mind? And of course, nature is my favourite reset button. And this is also in a long-term and in the moment way. Being in nature is deeply resourcing for me, as I can imagine for many of you. It makes me feel more connected and free. It helps me be centered and deal with complexity. Even if I cannot be in the mountains or the forests, I can imagine it or spend time reflecting on my own nature or the natural form around me. And this facilitates a sense of that same interconnectivity. And of course, it's a central theme on the Earth Converse podcast, how we intuitively turn to Mother Nature to reset and regulate. Staying close to nature, observing all the little and significant elements of it, and appreciating it from the very core is deeply therapeutic and self-healing. All the contributors so far have mentioned this in one way or another. And Jeannie on episode 19 talked about nature as a co-regulator in relationships. And increasingly, the science is backing up what we know, that Mother Nature is the ultimate healer. Recently, Maduhleena Roy Chowdhury published The Positive Effects of Nature on Your Mental Well-Being, where she cleverly put together an accessible bunch of research relating to nature and healing. I'll put the full link in the episode extras as well. Here's an excerpt on the importance of nature to well-being, where she writes, "A 30 days campaign was run by the Wildlife Trusts of the University of Derby, with the prime focus on uncovering the crucial role nature plays in our overall well-being. The study revealed that subjective feelings of happiness and well-being were positively correlated with natural activities such as gardening, animal feeding, bird watching, and bushwalking." She writes, Dr. Miles Richardson, in the face of this research, cited valuable evidence on how proximity to nature improved mood, enhanced respiratory functioning, regulated hormonal malfunctions, and impacted on the thought structure of individuals as a whole. She goes on to write, "Just by being outdoors and using all our senses to appreciate nature, we can be more mindful of the present, gain emotional resilience, and combat stress with more vitality. We become naturally immune to anxiety, emotional ups and downs, and thought blocks, therefore feel more lively and energetic than before." And I wonder, what have you noticed about nature as a reset button for you? And as explored frequently on the Earth Converse podcast, we are nature ourselves, and nature is all around us. There are benefits of looking at clouds, flowers, feeling the breeze. It all changes us. Even looking at images of nature can help us. As in this article, a large-scale experiment conducted on 120 subjects ascertained the nature connection in stress reduction and coping. Each participant observed visuals of either a natural landscape or an urban environment. The data obtained from the survey revealed that participants who looked at the picture of a natural setting had low scores on stress scales and had better heartbeat and pulse counts. So I think it's liberating that at any moment we can choose to press our reset button. Whether it be sitting on a meditation cushion for 1 minute or 1 hour, taking a deep breath and assuming a beginner's mind, being in the forest or looking at one, whatever works for you. It is empowering that we can choose to press it and therefore choose to start again. So despite what has gone on before, what comfort or discomfort we experience, we can reset. Regardless of what thoughts or feelings we had, at any time we can choose to press that resourceful button. We then start again with a new physical state, new resolve, attitudes, behaviours and actions. And when we find ourselves faltering or retreating back to our old ways, we press that button again. We gently forgive ourselves, open our hearts, reset, and start again. From this starting point, we have 100% of our life left. And that gives us plenty of options. So we'll put a pause here and see you back for the next Earth Converse podcast. In the meantime, enjoy Earth, one conversation at a time.